You know, this story is going to have a breaking news. Breaking news indeed. I'm going to do this properly before the portal gun evaporates me. Breaking news, breaking news. That's how I'm going to treat this. Original Sin. That's the title of Jake Tapper's book. It's a book written by Jake Tapper that talks about the cover-up of Joe Biden's mental decline. The same Jake Tapper and CNN and other people who didn't really address Biden's mental deficiencies. Okay? So yes, this is an actual thing. Jake Tapper of CNN is writing a book about the cover-up of Biden's mental decline. All right, so we're going to just go back in time because here's Jake Tapper shaming Laura Trump for talking about Biden's mental decline. Let's go and bring this up here. Let's share because we're going to time travel just a little bit for all you lovely people.
First and foremost, I had no idea that Joe Biden ever suffered from a stutter. I think what we see on stage with Joe Biden, Jake, is very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You are
to
no.
watch somebody on stage
It's so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
Well, when you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline. I would think that somebody in the Trump family would be more sensitive to people who do not have medical licenses diagnosing politicians from afar. Plenty of people have diagnosed your father from afar, and I'm sure it offends you. Your father-in-law from afar. I'm sure it offends you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, the thing is, though, I mean, we saw the debate between Trump and Biden. Okay? Like, there were moments where Trump was looking at this like, hey, can you believe the Democrats actually did this? They actually put this guy up here? No, Joe Biden was never sane in the head. Let's rewind that.
More sensitive to people who do not have medical licenses diagnosing politicians from afar. Plenty of people have diagnosed your father from afar, and I'm sure it offends you. Your father-in-law from afar. I'm sure it offends you. You don't have any standing to say.
I'm not diagnosing him. What I'm saying, Jake,
you just talked
is
about
that
a cognitive decline.
That Joe Biden
I have one last question for you, Laura.
You can't times on stage, and it's very concerning to a lot of people that this could be the leader of the free world.
Okay,
that is all I'm saying. I genuinely feel sorry for Joe Biden.
I appreciate it. I'm sure.
Yes, exactly. So let's go and talk about this. Original Sin from CNN. New book on Biden by Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson reports a cover about his decline. You don't say, CNN. Really? Hey, Jake Tapper's book. Here's what I think about it.
And here's what I think about it.
There you go. It's all a lie. And what is it?
All lies will be exposed.
As they should. So the day after Trump won the 2024 election, CNN anchor Jake Tapper and Axios correspondent Alex Thompson decided the blue, no pun intended, to co-author a book about what led to Democrat Party defeat with a focus on former President Joe Biden. The deeply sourced reporters found what they call a cover-up of the president's serious decline. That video I played before, Jake Tapper, were you not defending that? Were you not defending Joe Biden? I mean, anytime Joe Biden's cognitive abilities was called into question, CNN or MSNBC or any media outlet was quick to form their Greek phalanx shield wall. But as it did against the Roman legions, it broke the legions of truth, okay? And the truth was out there for everyone to see, that there was a cover-up. Joe Biden wasn't all there. We had a president at the wheel who didn't know he was behind the wheel. The resulting book, titled Original Sin, President Biden's Decline, Its Cover-Up, and His Disastrous Choice to Run Again, is coming out on May 20th, so be sure to buy it or buy it on Amazon. The book's publisher, Penguin Press, announced the project on Wednesday. What you will learn makes President Biden's decision to run for re-election seem shockingly narcissistic, self-delusional, and reckless. Like how we've said here at Hardlands Media, or anybody else, but our channel doesn't get gets demonetized, or we get shadow banned, or people aren't notified when we go live, right? Like we've been saying. So in other words, we've been telling the truth. Sorry, this offends me just a little bit. I'm a little bit angry. I'm Furious Kit right now, okay? Furious Kit. That's who I am. Going on, Biden, his family, and senior aides were so convinced that only he could beat Trump again. They lied to themselves, they lied to allies and the public about his condition and limitations, the press release stated. Toni Morrison once said, if there's a book you want to read, but it hasn't been written yet, then you must write it, Jake Tapper said in a statement. That's what inspired this book. We wanted to know more about what we all just lived through. No, we don't. More than 200 interviews later, Alex and I have a much better idea, and soon you all will too. Tapper had a unique vantage point as a co-moderator of the June 2024 CNN debate that led Biden to drop out of the presidential race a few weeks later. Tapper and Thompson write in the book that what the world saw at Joe Biden's one and only final debate was not only an anomaly, it was not a cold, it was not someone who was under or over prepared. It was someone who was just a little tired. Oh, it was not someone who was just a little tired. It was a natural result of an 81-year-old man whose faculties had been diminishing for years. So that would mean for years, even when he was running in the 2020 presidential election cycle. That means anybody who endorsed him or supported him, looking at you, Bernie, Tulsi, Andrew Yang, I'm looking at you, Bet on My Stork, Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar, Kamala Harris, all of you. You endorsed a senile old man who was sinking. You endorsed a senile old man to be in charge of a global superpower. Looking at you, corporate media, and vote blue no matter who. What's it like eating crow? Not a lot of people showing up at your events anymore. Now that you're holding your glorified parades, what? How many of you knew? How many of you got the memo just to control that narrative? How many of you constantly harassed and bullied people who are saying, no, it can't be Biden. There's something wrong. I've had numerous people from my live stream audience. I've interviewed so many people in independent media. I spoke to so many people, many of whom have seen or dealt with relatives who have cognitive decline, or know friends who are taking care of relatives who have cognitive or mental declining. And you know what? They said that Biden fit a profile, but yet the media, the politicians, the influencers, the actors, the actresses, those with power and influence and money wanted to tell you that this was the best Joe Biden ever. And now Jake Tapper has this big brain idea to write his little book, click, 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 and say, oh my goodness, I can't believe this happened. CNN, you do realize that the internet's forever, right? That one clip I just played before, that's just only one. I mean, MSNBC, CNN, ABC, CBS. How many of these people went to bat for good old Joe Biden before that infamous debate? And then now because Biden's out, oh, it's okay to talk about it. It's not that I'm feasting on their fear. And look at this. Look at the cover of this. Original Sin. Biden covering his face. Oh. President Biden's decline, it's cover up, and his disastrous choice to run again. Jake Tapper, Alex Thompson. Original Sin. The rest of the book is subject to a strict embargo, as is often the case with forthcoming releases that contain big scoops. Yeah, big scoop of dump. Joe Biden in his latest greatest adventure. Who crapped my pants? Let's actually go ahead and read some of the comments here. Popcorn says, I hope Biden sues the authors. Yawn. Americans do not need a book to learn that there was a cover-up of the decline of Biden. It was obvious every time bumbling Biden spoke. Hey, be nice. Democrat Party is hopelessly corrupt. They confiscate money from the few to buy the votes of many, and they love big government and big spending so they could skim part of it off for themselves. Look no further than tens of millions Biden and his family offshore accounts unlinked to any legitimate businesses. So there you go. Look at this. Jake, make sure to write a book about the current Trump administration cover up and denial of his and denial concerning his decline. Yes. And hold on. Bottom line, Joey and company, Vanity, and his unprimaried placeholder, Virtual Signal successor, were a $1.1 billion fail. Absolutely. Let's see. The hopelessly corrupt leftist media like CNN was complicit in the fraud. Where's the penalty? Can the Dem self-proclaimed stewards of democracy tell us what unelected person was lurking in the shadows, actually exercising the powers of the presidency? By the way, CNN is not leftist. Let's see. And he never made a promise not to run in 2024. Oh, I've heard stories that he was going to be a one-term president. A one-term president. But this is beyond vanity. This is beyond arrogance. This is also arrogance from corporate media. They're trying to cover up the fact they knew that there was something wrong with Joe Biden. They're covering up the fact that they knew. They all knew. Everybody knew. What angers me is that when we did stories for Hard Lens Media from the 2020 primary, starting in 2019, and even up until here now, you know, when we were talking about Biden's mental decline, everything else, lack of views, video being limited in monetization. And it hurts and it angers me and makes me furious because throughout this entire time, what we get penalized for calling out the fact that, hey, Joe Biden doesn't look like he's all there. I've seen it in my own family when a person's mental facilities finally fail. I know the goddamn signs when I see it. And so do all of you. That's right, you, my audience. Whether you're a supporter of the channel or not, whether you are Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Green, Socialist, I don't care who you worship, what generation you're part of. You've all seen the signs. Argue with me and debate with me if Joe Biden didn't exhibit the signs of somebody suffering from dementia, Alzheimer's, that he was finally failing at all aspects mentally up here. I'd like to see some brave lion say, no, that was the best Joe Biden. Because everyone else in my live stream audience, I've been doing this now for 8 years. And when we started in 2019, myself, Daniel, Hard Lens Media, when we were talking about this, we brought it up. And for a long time, a lot of people told us that we didn't know what we were talking about. For a long time, people were actually joyous. Said, oh, your video got limited. Oh, you're not getting any views. Oh, it is not. So CNN gets to get a clean slate. Jake Tapper and everybody else gets to walk off into the sunset and think, oh, yeah, we're going to write a book now about what happened. You were complicit in it. You were part of it. You goddamn lying sons of a bitches. I hope that book flops. It's not worthy of being thrown into a landfill. I feel sorry for any tree that's going to be cut down to be made into pages for that damn book. Everybody knew. We all have the internet. We all can see it. I don't need a goddamn book to tell me the decline of Joe Biden. But my question is, though, who was running the show? Who was really the commander-in-chief during these 4 years under the Biden-Harris administration? Hey, Bernie, you nutless wonder. Your good friend Joe didn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. Care to comment on that? Oh, no, you're too busy about yelling about Trump. What a waste.